Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on just DC TV and the Arrowverse as a whole, because we got some more Crisis on Infinite Earth stuff to go over. So Crisis is just over 4 weeks away. I think it's by tomorrow. I think it'll be exactly 4 weeks away because it starts on Supergirl on December 7th or 8th. I think it's the 8th actually of December that Crisis starts. So that's 4 weeks away from that point. Now obviously in the lead up to there we'll start to get Crisis built up on specifically Supergirl, because they haven't done anything in regards to Crisis, but obviously on Arrow specifically, and I guess bits of Flash, you're going to get a lot of Crisis build up in regards to this, either them mentioning it or actual little bits of Crisis already starting to play out before, it just completely rolls out in Supergirl, because apparently from what's being said on Supergirl, it literally starts from the beginning of the graphic novel. There's no real setup to that point, so they're going to have to do some stuff before that point, just to make it flow, I think, if that makes sense. But in this video, we're going to be going over a bunch of different stuff that's come out. Honestly, stuff that's come out in the past hour as well. I had to put off doing this video for about 3 different points because stuff kept coming out on Twitter. So I had to just hold it off and just be like, okay, when everything's done, then you can make the video. But of course, throughout the video, it would be awesome if you guys could let me know in the comments section down below your various opinions, theories, and just your general thoughts on the stuff we go over. I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say. And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video and you're just excited from what we go over in this video, why not drop a like on it? It would be awesome. So the first thing to go over is something that I'm sure at least a decent amount of you have seen, because it was posted on both Instagram, probably Facebook as well, didn't check, but specifically Instagram and Twitter, and that was from Stephen Amell, who posted a video of him actually watching the first part of Crisis, which is Supergirl episode 9 from their season 5. So I will quickly play it right now for you, just by itself, and then I'll probably just put it on a loop for a bit while we talk. Now that intro will be touched up a bit from what I've heard. I don't think that's 100% done. Like, some of the graphics look rough, but it might just be the video quality from Steve. And I think he still uses an iPhone 5, so that might be why it's a bit dodgy. And the Wave Rider specifically looks like someone just like dragged something across the screen. It doesn't look like the proper Wave Rider. And they've only just finished editing the episodes. Like, CGI obviously isn't done because they've still got a month to go, and they've still got things to film, which we'll bring up in this video as well. So the crossover isn't completely done. There's still little things that will be added, whether it be CGI or even little like things for the episodes, like little scenes, whether they be reshoots or other new scenes that they want to add. So yeah, Steven's watching a rough cut there. So yeah. Now, speaking of reshoots, there were some slight reshoots and added scenes for Crisis that were done a few days after main filming was done. I think about like maybe 4 or 5 days after main filming was done. Now, these were mainly with Lois Lane from Earth 38 from what I know, but one day of these reshoots, or at least a handful of scenes, also had Iris West and the Clark Kent / Superman from Earth 38 in it as well. Now, I know some of the Batwoman scenes with Lois were redone, or at least they added more because she was filming on Batwoman. I'm not 100% sure what episode the Iris and Superman scenes with Lois were for. It could be maybe to set up that Superman spin-off show more. Maybe it was in the last part, which is Legends. Maybe it's in the first part, which is Supergirl. I don't know when those Iris and Superman scenes were filmed, or what episodes they'll film for. I don't know, I have to wait and see. But Guggenheim, or Mark Guggenheim, who's like a consultant on the thing, on the whole crossover, did let us know on Twitter that there's actually more to be done. So someone asked, didn't you already finish filming? And he went, we did, but we're still doing pickups and some reshoots, in brackets, due to weather. So due to weather is an important thing, because especially in the last handful of days of filming, like the last week or so for Crisis, it was raining a lot in Vancouver. So I'm sure a lot of you guys saw the set pictures. It's like a battle against the anti-monitor. That was pouring down rain. So necessarily they won't refilm that scene, but in regards to close-ups and audio and stuff like that, they might reshoot that because the rain and just terrible weather. So, or maybe they could have even filmed scenes in case of like damaging equipment. So those would be, instances where there'd be some reshoots. But obviously in regards to pickups, there might be some more cameos that they might film for the crossover, and most likely they'll be done on a green screen stage. So if they are in the crossover, you'll be able to notice them, because you should be able to tell the green screen pretty easily. Now, the official title art for Crisis was released by Guggenheim. It's the exact same logo that was in that video from Steven, but you get a better look at it here. It's basically a more polished version of the comic title art. It's the same font style and stuff, but it's just a bit more polished. It looks pretty good. It's pretty simple. There's nothing really too much to examine there, but I think it looks pretty damn good. But one of the main reasons I had to hold off putting this video out or recording this video, for a while was because Guggenheim kept replying to tweets with people asking questions. So I'm just going to go through some of his tweets that he put out that sort of give us some stuff to talk about from Crisis. So someone firstly asked, will we be getting an epic comic book style poster for Crisis like we did for Earth X and Elseworlds? And he replied, something very similar, but also different is in the works. Two somethings, in fact. So I think we will get a very similar style poster to that Earth X, but I wonder what the second thing is. I wonder if they're going to do maybe like the big fold out thing that is in Crisis. I'll try and put it on the screen if I can find it for you so you can get what I'm talking about there. I'm interested to see what they do there because they're overdue for a poster. Like, as I said, like if we didn't get a poster this week, I'd be shocked because, we're in that last month leading up to Crisis, so you'd expect them to start, putting stuff out there. So I'd expect a poster sometime this week, especially because Flash and Arrow aren't on, so they might release it on the day that Flash and Arrow are meant to be on, just so we have, something on that day. But if you have any theories as to what the second thing could be outside of I guess like a typical poster, let me know in the comments. Someone then asked, any more appearances that haven't been leaked yet in Crisis? And he went, yes, we still have a few tricks up our sleeve and we're working every day on more. # never fully wrapped. Now this is the instance with those pickups. They could get like a person that wants to do it, or they could finally get some free time to do a cameo and they film it on a green screen or just a quick thing. Them reacting to Crisis, or them appearing on a screen, or them taking a photo and it could be a poster on a wall, or something along those lines. So there's a lot of different things that could still be added to this event that would just flesh it out a bit more, just make it even more awesome as a DC Comics fan. So a lot of stuff has already been put out there in regards to who's in Crisis and all the different cameos, and even stuff that wasn't even seen filmings out there, like the Titan stuff and stuff. Does that even make sense? Anyway, so I'm expecting a lot more stuff, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. And then I think someone asked, can you tease us with something else or something? I cut it off. I forgot to screenshot it. And then Mark Guggenheim replied, okay, and posted essentially like a, what would be like a panning shot, I guess. It's like a description sort of thing. And it says, new scene, exterior, Perez landing. I'm guessing that is just a Easter egg for George Perez, who's like worked on Crisis as well with Marv Wolfman, but essentially goes, heroes overwhelmed. White Canary then says, we're running out of time here, Ray, hurry. So obviously that's Ray Palmer. So I'm interested to see what that could be. Obviously it's not that big of a teaser. Like I think the bigger teaser would have been if he just showed us the goddamn scene and all the dialogue and stuff like that. But yeah, there's a little teaser from Guggenheim. And the last thing that was actually tweeted out by Guggenheim was a response from someone going, can you tease anything for Flash and Iris fans? And Guggenheim actually replied, Iris recruits the 7th Paragon. So that's a bit of a spoiler. And for those who are wondering what a Paragon is, basically the best way to look at it is like the highest ranking heroes, I guess, in the Arrowverse or just in the universe. So for those that don't know, essentially, even though this crossover is going to be big and epic in a lot of ways, it's going to follow similar formulas to previous crossovers in regards to the specific episode in question will feature more of those characters from that show. So the Supergirl episode will feature Supergirl episodes more than the other episodes. Same with Batwoman. Batwoman's probably the episode where we get Kevin Conroy's future Bruce Wayne. And then the Flash, we get more of those characters in Arrow and Legends and stuff like that. And we know for a fact that Black Lightning is in the Flash episode, but hasn't been confirmed for any other episodes outside of that. So it seems that Iris is probably going to recruit Black Lightning. How they go about that is an interesting question. I saw some people replying, that's a bit on the nose, but not Supergirl, sorry, the CW's never been one for subtlety with certain things like that. So it looks like Iris is going to recruit Black Lightning. Be interesting to see if he's on Earth 1 or like Earth 41 or something like that. We'll have to wait and see. Now, Greg Berlanti, the king of the Arrowverse, actually did an interview at something. I don't know what it was, but you can watch the stuff right here where he talks about Crisis.
You know your name is AKA Mr. CW, right? There's we have a lot of CW shows. Yeah,
You're pretty
we
big
love
up
the
there.
CW.
But we got to talk about what's coming up. We got the big mishmash, the winter.
Yes, the Crisis.
Yes.
It is. It's our biggest one yet. It's across 5 nights. 3 nights are going to be in December. 2 nights will be in January. We just finished watching them and editing them, and they're as big as anything we've ever done, that I've ever done in film or TV. Really, it's really incredibly epic, and I think everyone's going to be really satisfied. There's so many cameos, really great cameos.
Any spoilers? Can you give us anything?
I mean, people have seen some of the castings that we've had, in the trades, but everyone, we in one scene we have, 3 Supermen on screen at one time, and that's pretty cool.
So he obviously talks about like this being the biggest thing he has done, which it is and it will be for a while. Pretty much maybe until the HBO Max DC stuff, which he is involved with and heading up, starts to do crossovers, but that won't be for like years. Like I wouldn't expect that for like another 4 or 5 years. But obviously he does talk about a scene with 3 Supermen in it. So obviously one of them would be the Earth 38 Superman, one would be the another would be the Kingdom Come, and obviously you'd have to think the other would be the Smallville Superman. Now, the Tom Welling situation is a very interesting one because obviously there's a lot of people thinking that he's going to suit up and everything like that. Obviously there's just a lot of clickbait going around, I guess, in regards to that. Now, from what I know, he didn't film that long. However, he was there for about 2 days from what was being said and from like people around Vancouver. But he could have like in like a very, I guess sly way been there for another day or two and done something like this. We know that he's going to be in a scene with Tyler Hoechlin's Clark Kent. So when Greg Berlanti says 3 Supermen, it could actually maybe mean Tyler Hoechlin's Clark Kent, the Tom Welling Clark Kent from Smallville, and then maybe even just Brandon Routh's Kingdom Come Clark Kent, because he's going to be Clark Kent in that crossover as well. He isn't just going to be the Kingdom Come Superman. So saying 3 Superman could be a bit of a stretch, and it could actually be 3 Clark Kents, because Tom Welling just didn't film for long. And there's another thing that needs to be brought up is that Tom Welling actually didn't have a Superman suit in Smallville. The Superman suit that he does wear is the top half of the Brandon Routh Superman suit from Superman Returns. They borrow that from the WB archives or the Warner Brothers archives to use for Smallville for that one little thing. He doesn't even wear the bottoms. I think he just wears like I don't think he even wears the arm pieces. It's just like the vest sort of chest area. So there wasn't actually a suit made for Smallville. So keep that in mind in regards to Tom Welling suiting up. But you never know, there might be something in the background, or they might have made him a suit, even though I don't think he's in the crossover for that long. Now, Kevin Smith will be hosting a Crisis After Show sort of thing on the CW following both the Supergirl and Flash portions of the Crisis crossover, which are the first one, which is Supergirl, and then Flash is the third portion. I don't know why there's not one after Batwoman. Maybe big things happen after the first and third portion. Well, obviously the third, but yeah. Now, he might do one for the final part, which is like a 2-parter with Arrow and Legends at the end. But seeing that isn't until January, they might hold off announcing that for a bit. But this is what Kevin specifically said about it all on Twitter. After Crisis on Infinite Earths, watch the after show I'm hosting, Crisis Aftermath. We're going to dive deep into one of the greatest crossover events in television history. So this will be very interesting, so definitely tune in, especially if you're in America, or I guess only if you're in America, because that's where you'll be able to watch it. I'm sure you might be able to watch it on like YouTube, so I'm sure someone will record it and you'll be able to watch it and see what goes on there. But yeah, there's a little bit of more bonus Crisis stuff. If you're looking forward to the crossover, there's even more cool stuff to watch afterwards. But obviously watch my videos after the episodes of Crisis. Don't slack on that. But yeah guys, that's pretty much everything to go over from this Crisis stuff. I'm sure there'll be more stuff that comes out in the next week. Hopefully a poster. There is even more stuff to go over, but I didn't want to make this video too long, so I'll leave it for another video. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, it would be awesome if you could drop a like and it shows support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions on what we went over, different theories and just thoughts you have. I'm interested to hear what you have to say. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.